Bring it back.
What's going on, everybody? Cold-blooded here. I got a new build for you guys today. I'm gonna try to go through this pretty quickly, but I don't want you guys to miss out on any steps. So what this is, it's a new auto chopper, kinda sorta, from what I had previously posted. The main difference is this one is no longer adjustable, which means it is set to chop 1 unit pieces only, which is pretty awesome for those of you who have the ability. As you can see, I'm here on the base that has the ability. You can tell by the ground it's no longer that like medium brown color, I guess you can say. It's kind of like got a yellow green hue to it, yellowish green hue to it. But yeah, so I'm building this. This isn't my base. This is my buddy Scuba's base, and he asked me if I could build him one, so I said sure, why not? I got to do a video on it anyways. That way those of you who have the ability can set up this auto chopper. It's amazing. You just go build while this thing cuts for you. There's plenty of variables you can put. I'll try to do that on another video. I just set up one for somebody else with like an auto feeder to the truck. So it like goes into a reservoir, and then from the reservoir, when he's ready, he just backs his truck up and it drops it in. But that's another video. So this one, you want to lift your sawmill up 1 unit off the ground. Now, I mean, that's not absolutely necessary, but I do that just because it kind of helps when you got to drop down the pieces. It just lifts it up just a bit, so that way they have more of an area to drop. Now, I'm not saying it won't work if you don't lift it up that 1 unit, but you do stand the chance of it getting kind of jammed a little bit, especially when you get lag. You guys know how everything acts funny when there's lag in the lobby. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just putting these two wedges. Now these are 2x4x1 wedges. Now this is just in case the wood happens to come out all kind of wonky, where, you know, sometimes it comes out at an angle for whatever reason. It's not a normal thing. Again, usually it's just like lag causes it. So these are just like some guide rails. Now you don't need this. I built one on my buddy's base and he opted to not have these guard rails on it because he puts multiple pieces on there at the same time. So he'll process one, slide it over to the side, and process another one. And he likes it just fine that way, and it works. Seems to work just fine for him that way too. Now I don't do it just simply because when this thing's working properly, and what I mean by when it's working properly is when it's working and there's no lag in the lobby. It works so fast, it's impossible to keep up with, and I'm not just saying that, I'm being totally honest with you, because this thing does move fast. So, for me, one's good enough. I don't like to have tons of pieces on there, plus people like to come and they'll reset their characters on your piles of wood, which, I mean, I'm not a fan of that, so I try to make it harder for people to mess with me in this game. So I don't leave myself open to those types of situations. Now, this length of conveyors, it's totally up to whatever length you want it. This mill is not modded, so you can only put the maximum pieces 10 units long. So I am simply making this big enough to fit the maximum piece in. Now this will take a 10 unit long 3x2.6 plank. That's what this will take. It'll take it just fine, and we won't run into problems to where it's too long, which is all we need to do. Now, if you wanted to attach a modded sawmill to the end of this, you would obviously want to make it bigger. That way you make sure it fits on the conveyor system. Okay. So one of the main things on here is the chop saw itself. And that's what you'll find is it's the chop saw, the conveyor at the edge of the system, and the sawmill itself. Those are the 3 things that need to be placed perfectly. Now what I did was I placed 2 large floors. Now if you see, it overhangs from the edge of the conveyor belt by 1 unit. That's going forward, like where the wood would drop, and then 2 units to the side of the conveyor. So where the knobs are, it overhangs 2 units from the side of there. And it's not before, so let me these guardrails I have in here, they're not necessary for your build, but while you're placing your chop saw, you need to put a blueprint down there for just so that way you could lift it up from the conveyor. And then on top of that blueprint you put down there, you need to put 2 more. You need to go up 2 more units, so just put two more large floors, and those are just temporary. And I can set this dang thing down. I'm going to reset my character, so I'm going to fast forward on the video here real soon. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Now hopefully I can place this right. I know it's acting funny right now. Oh, right there. Okay. So this is 1 unit, so it's like, yeah, you can see kind of right there. So I'm just going to move these. He could delete them. It's not my base. I can't he's got wood there. I'm just going to place them here for him to delete. But see, it overhangs 1 unit. Now what that's for is so that way the blade chops right at where the edge of the conveyor is. That's important for where the placement of the conveyor we use to stop this thing is at. So 2 units up, and then 1 unit forward and 2 units to the side of those conveyors. Okay, now this button, you can place it anywhere, wherever you want to put it. Scuba's already moved it for himself. I'm just placing it here to test it. So, but wherever it's convenient for you, everybody has a preference on where they want it. That's all. Whatever you want to do to yours, do to yours. Where's a wire at? I'm looking for a wire. I think I'm just gonna steal one of his wires. Okay, he should be getting me a wire. Okay. Now the other thing is this conveyor here at the edge. This is very important. It has to be a conveyor. Some of you may want to put a pressure plate, because it'd be pretty cool if it activates the saw with a pressure plate. I know, I've tried it. It doesn't always work. This method may not be as cool as putting a pressure plate there, or a hatch there, or anything else, but it will always work. It will always drop the piece, and that's what's important. You don't want to be coming back and having to check on it. So push it right up against that blueprint and up 1 unit. So you can see where that's at. It's right at the top of those guardrails. And make sure that toggle is facing down. The whole point of this is to push the wood down. The reason why the pressure plate and the hatch don't work is because they don't push. The wood just gets jammed in there and it doesn't want to drop because it's too light of a piece of wood. Okay, he brought me a wire. Let me set this up. Okay. Now the third thing, the chop saw height and the placement of the conveyor, as well as it being, pushing downward. Third thing that's very important is the dimensions of the sawmill. Now the dimensions of the sawmill have to be 1.8 on the x-axis and 2.0 on the y-axis. Now I will make sure I write that in the description. Well, I'll try to make sure I write it in the description. That's very important, especially if you're doing the guardrails. If you're not doing the guardrails, it doesn't matter which is the x or which is the y. But the reason why that number is so important is because when you're doing the softer woods, and by softer woods I mean oak, palm, and fir, fir being the solid yellow wood with no texture, those 3 will chop too soon if you have them at any other dimension. So as you can see here, I'm going to adjust this. This is 1.8 on the x, and then 2 on the y. Very important. Now, is every piece going to be 1 unit? No. Some are going to be 2, but the way I see it, I'm more concerned with time. The whole thing is to build efficiently. Now, I don't mean, wood efficiently, because you could get wood easily, you can dupe it easily, you could buy it from people. I did my video on the money dupe, so hey, you can have money to buy wood. I just want you guys to go and be able to build easily and fast. And 2 units of wood is nothing. You could fill a large floor with 2 units of wood, that's nothing. Okay. Now, there's a lot of lag in this lobby, and this piece is going to take forever. So I am going to have to change lobbies to show you guys this, because look at this. This is going too slow. Okay. I'm going to change lobbies, and then I will be back. Alright guys, so I don't know what happened to the footage I had of me finishing on Scuba's base, so I'm going to show you on my base. Okay, here's a large floor. Now, you guys all know large floor takes 30 units of wood. See this piece right here? This is probably 2 units. That one's 2 units. They all seem to be cutting 2 units here. We'll see if we get a smaller one that's 1 unit right now. Now, that's fine. I can probably dial it back so that it'll always give me a smaller piece. Oh, that one's getting a little bit smaller over there. This one's smaller too, actually. And as you can see, look, boom. Every time it's going to fill every blueprint, every time. Now this thing's pretty awesome. It's a huge time saver. All I do is I'll stick a piece of wood in there, and I'll set it and then just walk away. I don't even worry about it. That's all you have to do, guys. That's all it takes. It's pretty simple. Here I am. I'm starting to build another one over here just so I could run multiple colors. I kind of got a really early start of my Christmas space. I'm not posting any videos yet. I am going to be doing my Halloween build soon, so you guys can look forward to that. But yeah, this build is going to be pretty big, so that's why I started so early on my Christmas space. I have somebody in my way already, I think. Okay, he moved. Alright guys, so let me know in the comments if you have any questions on the build. I'll try to remember to put those dimensions on for the sawmill, what they need to be at, but again, it is 1.8 on the x-axis and 2 on the y. Alright guys, hope this video was helpful. Good luck with your builds. Go check out my other videos. I have the money dupes so you guys can get that ability to build with 1 unit of wood. And for all things Lumber Tycoon, subscribe to my channel.